she say? What you say? That you only meant well.
Broadcasting live from the Complete College Prospect Studio in Sin City. Heard around the world, discussing everything that is high school sports, is the Who's Up Next podcast.
Hey, welcome everybody to another show. Definitely gonna have a good one today. I always have to say it. We're trying a new internet system. So hopefully we won't have the issues we've had over the last 2 weeks. But if we do, just remember to refresh. Should bring you right back to the show. Happy to have you guys here with me today. We're going to talk about a few things. I think we got like 5 athletes that we're going to be showcasing today on the highlight series. Next week, we will have Hit World back on. I think we're going to have Fans Gone Wild back on, and a few other things. Today, we're going to get into some topics that were brought up over the week that the show, from last Sunday to this Sunday, some questions that have been asked about NIL, schools, other things that are going on, and what people should do and how you should do it. And hopefully we can get you the answers you're looking for and make everything work out all right for you. Let me start this like this. Doing these live shows, it for everybody that does their podcast and they do it pre-recorded and then put it up, that is absolutely the easiest way, because then technical difficulties don't knock you down. 3 minutes before it was time to go live, had an issue, had to fix it just to get up here and do what I do. I still love it. I love doing everything, bringing the information and bringing the highlights and everything I can to everybody that's out there. So I wouldn't change it for the world. We are going to start having co-hosts. I probably won't do any more permanent co-host. I definitely have found that it's easier to just do business by doing business by yourself on certain things. So the Who's Up Next show is just going to be the big fella all day, every day. But we will have co-hosts that are, from their location. We are going to have co-hosts that are in studio. We're building out the other side of the studio so that's a more intimate look for that type of interview. Definitely want to start getting these athletes in-house when they're in Vegas for sure, whether they're passing through on vacation or they live here. We definitely want to do that because there's some great athletes, coaches, educators out there that I definitely love to talk to. Definitely streamlining this thing, man, getting stuff the way it needs to be, turning it more professional. You know what I'm saying? Got a script, everything, so that we're locked in. But we're going to start this thing how we start every show, with the truth. Yep.
If you tell the truth, you're going to ruffle feathers. If you tell the truth, you lose your job. If you tell the truth, people think you're a bad guy. The truth is the problem that people have in society. I like to see the reaction to the truth.
Hey, anytime you're on the Who's Up Next show, that's what you're going to get here, right? We're going to talk about some things that sometimes your parents might not think you should know. Your coach is damn sure going to think that there's some things on here you should know. School, same thing. The whole point of the Who's Up Next show is to make sure that you guys become educated as athletes, as high school youth coaches, parents, whatever it takes to get these kids to that next place, to make it to that next level, and then let the doors open up from there, because it's such a hard jump to go from youth, which is now high school, all the way down. It's not just youth like 14 and under. Youth is high school down, right? To get from youth sports to the collegiate level, and then, to step it up and make it to the pro level. There are steps to it, and it's complicated. Those doors are hard to open if you don't have all the right tools. So the Who's Up Next show is definitely going to make sure you get that information. On today's show, we got quarterback Tyler Harrison. In the highlight series, we also have Jocelyn Weger. I hope I said your name right. Softball. She's a hitter. Like, she smacks. Can't wait to show you guys her video. We also have Ty Powell, going to be the first kicker on the show. Look, I don't want to just show the people that always get the highlights, right? I want to show the athletes that do the hard work too. We have Sophia Baresi. I know I said that wrong, right? Baresi plays soccer. She's a center back. She doesn't get the glory of the striker, you know what I'm saying? But her ball placement's amazing. And if it wasn't for her, they couldn't do what they do. We also going to have Damian Dixon, safety, out here in Las Vegas at Arborview High School. Going to be on the show in the highlight series. Again, it's not always the most glamorous position. Definitely not the one that the reporters want to talk to at the end of the game. But what he does is important. And I just want to showcase everybody. That's it. It doesn't matter. You know, we've had linemen on here. We're going to definitely do kickers, baseball, basketball, softball. It doesn't matter, man. I don't care. We're going to put you on, right? As long as your film look good. If your film doesn't look good, the big fella can't help you out. It's just how that works out, right? All right, man. So let's get into the first thing I wanted to get into, right, before we jump into this young man, Tyler Harrison. I wanted to talk with everybody about the fact that being able to play sports is all about luck. I've said it before. You've heard it on this show plenty of times. I'm going to say it again. Look, you're lucky if you're born and you're able to play sports, because there's a lot of kids out there that will never know the joy of playing sports, whether it's medical or intellectual, whatever it is that is harming them, they were born with it, they will never get to play sports. You know, so there's a coach, Bill Powell, out here in Las Vegas, and I've been at his practice and I've heard him tell his athletes, we don't have to be here, we get to be here. And I think that's such a great quote because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you hate practice, when you hate being there, when you're tired and you can't push through, remember that you didn't have to be there. You got to be there. It's luck, right? This young man, Tyler Harrison, is a young QB. Great arm, great size. And the young man just found out that he has cancer. He's going to miss this year. I think this was going to be his freshman year of playing football. It's either, I swear it's his freshman year, not his 8th grade year. And he's going to have to miss it. He'll be hopefully back. I know he just finished his first round of chemo, seen some film of him out there throwing in his yard. And you know, I love seeing that. I love that he's not letting this thing get him down. But that's what I mean by you are blessed every day. And that's not on a religious thing. I don't care if you're religious, not religious, whatever it is, right? You are blessed with the ability to be able to go enjoy doing what you do. I don't care what that is. I don't care if it's just cooking, eating, jogging, whatever it is, right? You don't know if you're going to get that opportunity to do that tomorrow, you know, and it's hard when life wants to take away your joy, you know what I'm saying? So to see this young man really striving and still with a smile on his face, even though he's going through what he's going through, I really love it. And I just wanted to make sure that we showcased him. He didn't have a lot of video out there because, again, I swear this was going to be his fall freshman season. But we took what we could, put it together because we definitely wanted to showcase the young man, Tyler Harrison, QB1.
Mean nothing to y'all, but understand nothing was done for me, so I don't plan on stopping at all. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine. I'm shutting down in the mall and telling that girl she the one for me, and I ain't even planning to call. I want this forever mine, ever mine, ever mine, ever mine. Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo, if I was at the club, you know I balled. Chemo, dropped a mixtape that sounded like an album. Who'd have thought a countrywide tour be the outcome?
Again, that young man's name is Tyler Harrison. I think he's out of Florida. Again, not positive. I was lucky enough for the young man to come across Complete College Prospects feed, then for me to be able to get the film and for everything to be brought to me so that I could showcase him. Again, talented young man, bright future ahead of him, young and fighting cancer. It could be any of us, right? I say it all the time that it's luck. It really is. Being able to be a professional athlete, being able to be a college athlete, being able to be a high school athlete, a youth athlete, it's all luck. It's the luck of the draw, At any point in time, you can lose it, so appreciate it while you got it. I definitely wanted to discuss that. Let's see. Next thing I wanted to get into, let's talk about the NCAA because there's been some more news. I always keep you guys updated on that here on the show. With all the moving parts that are going on with the NCAA, with NIL, with paying athletes, there was always going to be some transition when it came to scholarships. I have forgotten to take into consideration a walk-on athlete. Walk-ons have always been that walk-ons go all the way back to the beginning of sports in college, right? If you didn't get a scholarship, you could still go to the team on their walk-on day, shoot your shot, maybe get on, maybe not. It just depends. That's going to kind of go away. The NCAA has decided that they are going to get rid of equivalent scholarships, right? So if you don't know what an equivalent scholarship is, the way that equivalent scholarships worked, well, there was two kinds, right? There was two types of scholarships. There were head count scholarships, and then there were equivalent scholarships, right? So say your team, say it was basketball, technically they have 15 scholarships, but they might have 18 people, 19 people on the team. Those walk-ons, you could do a little something for if you did equivalent scholarships. With head count scholarships, it's just like it sounds. You made the amount of scholarships you had work based on the amount of players that you had on your team. Some people might be partial, some people might be full. It just depended. That's going away because athletes are going to start getting paid. So what the NCAA is going to do is that the proposed change will definitely get rid of the walk-on athlete. There just won't be room for those athletes. They'll need to be on scholarship, right? So as you can see here, like say the roster limit again was 15 players in basketball. You had 13 scholarships, but you have 19 listed on your roster. You can see right here, 6 of those are walk-ons. That'll change, right? With them getting rid of that, whatever, they'll tell you that there's a certain amount of scholarships that they can give out, and that's it. Now, there won't be a roster limit, but what happens is they can water down scholarships. So say I might have a total amount of, like my limit of scholarships is say 15. I might have 20 players. So 10 of my players are probably going to be on half scholarships. I can even stretch it and put guys on quarter scholarships. That's kind of the way that this thing is going to go, right? It's important as you're out there being recruited. I know a lot of you are seeing guys getting committed right now, but all of these things are about to change like this year, right? Going into 2025. So there's some guys that are committed, some men and women out there that are committed to their schools. I know you're seeing them on X, and they may find out that if you get rid of the equivalent, then their scholarship might not be a full scholarship. They thought they were going to get a full scholarship. Now they're not. Roster limits are going to go up, but I know football is going up to 105 instead of 85. But again, walk-ons are going away, right? stop turning your heads up, turning your nose up at these JUCOs, right? I see I get a lot of athletes in my feed. I get a lot of coaches, college coaches in my feed. The lower tiers are always looking for athletes. Even if it's a D3, they'll make sure they figure out the money. They can't offer scholarships, but they figure out the money, right? They'll get you in. I just recommended that to a kid the other day because it was something that was going to work out for him. If he got in to the D3, because the only thing that really matters is that you get in, right? You don't want the door to close. You want to get in because if you're in, you can move up. You can still make it. You still get where you're trying to go if you just get in. That's the hard part, right? So before you commit to a school from here on out, you need to ask these coaches, is my scholarship full with the equivalent being taken away? Is it going to stay a full? Is it going to go down to a partial? What's going to happen? That's going to be very important so that you're not out here in the wings, you know what I'm saying, just getting, thinking that you have one thing and then finding out that you don't. That's that simple. We're going to get into this next athlete, JC. Let's hit this commercial first, and then we'll CCP fam, and then we'll come back with JC.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. 999. Waiting for the exhale. I toss my pain with my wishes in a wishing well. Can't breathe, I'm waiting for the exhale. Toss my pain with my wishes in a wishing well. Still no luck, but oh well. I still try even though I know I'm gon' fail. Stress on my shoulders like an anvil. Perky got me itching like an anthill. Drugs killing me softly, Lord hell. Sometimes I don't know how to feel.
All right, man, welcome back. So we got JC, right? Jocelyn. And again, I'm going to mess up your last name. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I think it's Weger. It's Weger. Look, she's a ball out of the park girl. Every time she's at the plate, she smacks, right? I love the softball ladies. I think they bust their butt. Baseball, same thing. Swinging a bat and hitting a ball is everybody thinks they could do it till you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I get that you could go hit the ball from your friend down the street. I get that you can, hit the ball when you're playing with, some of your kids, they're younger than you or whatever. But when you get to this high school level, college level and beyond, these athletes are exceptional. They really are. This young lady is amazing. Definitely saw her video and was like, I got to put her up. Let's check her out.
Baby bet, ayy, couple racks, ayy, couple Grammys on them, couple blacks, ayy, that's a fact, ayy, throw it back, ayy, and this one is for the champions. Ain't lost since I began, yo. Funny how you said it was the end, yo. Then I went did it again, yo. I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for. Get your soul, just tell them I ain't laying low. You was never really rooting for me anyway. When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say, you don't run from nothing, dawg. Get your soul, just tell them that the break is over. Need a couple number ones. Need a pack on every song. Need me like one with Nicki now. Tell her right, I'll see you, huh. I'm a pop like Bieber, huh. I'm queer, huh. But deep, let me deal, yeah, hey. Oh, let do it. I ain't fall off, I just ain't release my news. I blew up, man, everybody trying to sue me. You call me Nas, but the hood call me. And this one is for the champion.
What I tell you, right? she's amazing, right? Teams are just demoralized. I don't even know. They should just walk her, right? I mean, I know in baseball that's solid, right? But they should just walk her because it's like it's to the fence every time, and you're just lucky if it's not over the fence. Jocelyn, amazing job. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hoping to get the chance to talk to you on the show. I'm real happy with that. That video was amazing. And that's all her, if you shoot over to her YouTube channel, go to her Instagram. It's spelled just like her name, Jocelyn, again, Weger, something like that. Weger. Go to her YouTube channel. You're just going to see smack, 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 smack. It's what she does, man. She's really good at it. Let's see. I wanted to get into, I did want to touch base on the NIL, right? I had a parent reach out to me because their kid is in a state where the NIL deal, well, let's just be real. They're here in Vegas. The NIL deal currently with high schools is not great. It's not California. Well, Florida's brand new. They just approved it last week. It's not, some of the other states, Colorado, things like that. So the kid wants to go to high school somewhere else. And one of the schools that were brought up was IMG. I love IMG. For what they do, they're there for exactly what they do. I'm not knocking it. If you want to pay the $70,000 to $90,000 a year, great. You know what I'm saying? Look, before your first thought shouldn't be about the NIL money in high school, right? That picking a high school, that shouldn't be what it is. Trust me, it's going to be hard enough, right? Now, if you're coming into high school and you're a highly scouted athlete at your sport, whether it's wrestling, football, basketball, baseball, right? If you're highly scouted, which means you're going to come into a high school and you're going to be that guy or girl right from the beginning, then yes, maybe that's something to look into to make that kind of move. But what you have to remember is everything is about to shift in that manner, right? So all of these athletes are going to start looking at it like that because of the money, because it's money from, I told you, college is now the new pro, just the lower tier pro level. High school is the new college, except for you could get paid there too in certain states. So big time athletes are going to flood those markets, right? You better be sure that you don't wash out. I always tell athletes, if you go to a everyday school and you're a great athlete, you're going to be a great athlete. You're going to look like a great athlete. When people look at your stats, when they see you play, you are going to look like a great athlete. When you go to a powerhouse school like IMG, Bishop Gorman, St. John Bosco, there's a couple more on the East Coast. When you go to those big name schools like that, right? What tends to happen, right, is that you can be really good and you'll wash out, right? Because what coaches look at is you've got to be exceptional if you're at a school that has all the talent, because they know that you have all the talent. So say you play football or baseball or softball or basketball, and if your whole team is stacked, you can't put up average numbers. The numbers that would be great somewhere else, you got to put up exceptional numbers. Take here in Las Vegas, right? Bishop Gorman, #1 school here. There's no arguing that when it comes to football. So they had a kid a while back, quarterback, took the team to basically challenge for 2 national titles and all that. So then that, of course, he stood out. He washed out in college because he was a high school level athlete. But then you get a young man like Micah, who was quarterback there for 4 years. These last 4 years, it took him to his junior year to get a scholarship offer, and it was only 2 of them. And they weren't to big schools. And he put up great numbers. He was Max Prep's junior of the year. He was, I think, Gatorade player of the year. He was the #1 player in the state. I think he was in the top like 6 or 7 in the country for yards thrown and everything. And it still didn't happen because what coaches looked at was, here's all this talent that you have. So you have all day to throw because you have the best line. Your team on defense is making sure the other team doesn't score. So are you putting up a lot of numbers? Are you putting up 50, 60 points? Are you rushing for another, let's say 100, 150 yards a game? And he wasn't putting up those numbers. So even though he was a great quarterback, if you took him and placed him in any school, he's going to be a great, outstanding quarterback, right? I think he chose to go to the University of Hawaii, so you might get a chance to see him over the next couple of years. Even though he did that, right, he washed out talent-wise in that environment, as were other athletes that excelled there that had incredible numbers. They didn't. That's why they ended up where they ended up. So just remember that, right? Don't just look at the money and let the money rush you to a situation, because a lot of people are going to do that. So I just wanted to clean that up. I don't want to give you advice. If you ever have questions, you can reach out to the show, who'supnextshow.com, who'supnextshow@gmail. You could reach us through Complete College Prospect over on X and everywhere else on the planet, TikTok and everything else, right? If you have questions, I'm going to get them answered. That's what I'm here for, and that's what we're going to do, right? So I just wanted to clean that up because that would be a huge mistake. And the young man that I'm talking about is fairly new to the sport, so he's still got to cut his teeth. He's still got to pay his dues. And I think that would be a tremendous mistake. I think that, for that young man, if he was to train, cut his teeth maybe his freshman year here, if he's outstanding, then he wanted to make that jump, I would say yes, absolutely. I don't want to stop anybody from getting their money, but I want you to get your money correctly, and not find yourself in a situation where it all just goes away because you did something too soon. All right, man. So let's see who we got. We had Jocelyn. We went through the understanding the school. I want to get into the kicker, right? So this guy's name is Ty Powell. He is money. Like, I'm not just hyping up every kid that we put on here. The reason that I hype the kids up is because they gave me something to hype them up about. I didn't go look for them. I saw something that they put out for the world to see, and it was really good. And because of that, it's easy for me to bring them on here and tell you how great these athletes are. It doesn't mean that your athlete isn't great. It means that your athlete doesn't have their information out here in the ether where it can be found and it can be put up, or the video wasn't great, or whatever it is, right? But these athletes have been exceptional. And so I really like what I've seen. And Ty Powell's no different. Like I said, this young man's leg is he's just money, man. It's going to be kickers, right? So I don't want to hear it. It's going to be a little boring. Music's on point. But you got to appreciate what he's doing. And he could kick from deep. I think he just committed to a school. I'll have to look that information up. Let's go, Ty Powell.
There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, knocking out bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible, 'cause we're unstoppable. Every spotlight, every soundbite, everybody who gave up is just a fuel for wanting him more than anybody against us. They can say what they want now.
Hey, that was Ty Powell, kicker. Again, you know what I love about this young man is that, you know, I get that there's a lot of you guys out there that are specialists. You rather field goal or punt or kickoff. Try to do it all. If you're a kicker, try to do it all. The more valuable you are to a program, the better it's going to be. So if you can do it all, do it all. Like I said, you saw that he was money when it came to field goals, but when it came to kickoff, he putting it in the end zone almost every time. You know what I'm saying? You're not running anything back. I love that. I love that. He's controlling the game. He's doing as much to control the game as the defense is. He's guaranteeing that there's not going to be any breakaway returns for touchdowns. You're going to start at the 20 because I said you're going to start at the 20 because that's where I'm going to kick it. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And they're just, you know, that's money in the bag right there. So, and the other thing is what you notice about these parents, I've been saying it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, video. Try to get in there as good as you can. It's hard with kickers for sure, because you've got to catch the kick plus spread out so you get the field goal or get the distance on a kick off or punt. I get that. But try to get the best video you can. Coaches are looking. Try to showcase the best film that you have up front. Coaches are looking. We don't really necessarily need to see that everybody was jumping for joy at the end. The more quality film we can get, the more of what you do that we can get, the better it's going to be, right? The more action to what you do, the more technique to what you do. When that's up there to be viewed, that's what coaches are looking for. That's what recruiters are looking for. That's the film that they're trying to see. So, you know, get your job done and then be business about it. Cut that out. Get another clip up. You know, most coaches, 3 minutes tops that they're going to watch a film. First minute better be your best film. Because if it's not, coaches probably aren't there. There's too many athletes that are just going to move on. So try to get your best film up. 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 Man, it's a quiet day out here on this Sunday. It's like that sometimes, though. Let's see. What do we want to talk about next? You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I'm staying on script about everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. You know, we're in this crossroads of keeping the show as professional as possible, but as fluid as possible. You know, we don't want it to be business all the time. Like I say, today is a weird day, but it's just going to keep getting better. The Who's Up Next show is always growing and working to better itself the same way that you do as athletes. That's why it's easy to understand that you have your struggles some days, but then you try to excel as many days as you can for what you do, right? And so we want to excel over here as many times as we can with as few mistakes as possible so that we're getting better to push you. You know, you'll be amazed at how many coaches we talk to that watch the show that check out your film. And I love that. And I love having that opportunity to give that to you. Let's see. Oh, we got to get into the second CCP family commercial, and then we'll be right back.
To move, if you're ready or not, give it all that you got, turn it up now, you got to move, it's a chance to fly, with your head held high, right above now, you got to, if you're ready or not, give it all that you got, turn it up now, you got
Hey, welcome back to the show. Let's get into this last little bit of the NIL stuff and the pay. Well, we're not going to get into the NIL. We're going to get into the payments that are coming from the NCAA. So, of course, like anything, I mean, an employer is an employer is an employer. At the end of the day, yes, they're happy to pay some people, but they're always looking for what's the minimum they could pay to get what they want to get out of you, right? So the NCAA coaches and everything have got together, and they are now discussing having a floor when it comes to paying everybody out, right? So with this floor, they want to know what's the minimum that they can pay an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can make the big bucks. I don't care. Like, right, I get the 22% profit sharing, and that's the way that they're going to go with paying out athletes and everything. But the truth of the matter is that everybody's not going to get that. That's the facts. So they are looking for a floor. So you will. All of this has to be upfront, right? So there's not going to be any secrets. You're going to know what the bottom amount of money is that you could be paid as an athlete when it comes to the 22% profit sharing for the schools that are going that direction. I'm going to stop saying that, right? Everybody's going that direction because the big schools are going that direction. The Power 5 schools for football are going in that direction. So everybody else is going to follow because if they don't, they're not going to be able to compete when it comes to paying and getting the right recruits in. Something that has never happened before is happening right now when it comes to college recruiting for football. About 2 weeks ago, let's say the beginning of July to today, you saw all these athletes committing. Hey, I'm so happy to commit to blah, 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 blah. I'm going over here. I'm going over there, shooting their videos and doing whatever. And now over the last week, what I've seen is that athlete decommitted, and now they're going over here. You want to know what changed? This changed. Somebody called from another school and said, hey, I know you're committed over there, but if you come over here. If you notice, after the Nike one of the Nike founders came out and said that Oregon has a blank check for the NIL money that they need to spend to get the best athletes in there, all of a sudden Oregon started getting a whole lot of commits. And now they're ranked as one of the best classes for recruitment. They weren't a month ago. They weren't before that. And then the Oregon coaches will put out articles and stuff and say, hey, we love that he said that, but we're not really going by that. But your recruiting changed. We know that's nonsense, right? So let's not do that, right? So I want to make sure you understand that you will know it has to be upfront. They have to tell you it's all being worked out. 2025 is when it begins again. So by December, most of these schools will have it all figured out about what they're going to pay, right? By the National Signing Day, they're going to know what they want to pay. They're going to know what they want to do. And that'll all get worked out, right? So you will know what the minimum amount of money is that you can make at your university. But everybody's going to go to 22% profit sharing. Just remember that some schools make more money, right? What you will see, though, is things like, I swear I put it up here. That might have been at Oklahoma. Let's see. Yeah, so like take this Oklahoma one, right? So a family donated $20 million. They pledged $20 million to Oklahoma, right? I think they went with football and baseball is what it was. They donated, football and baseball program. So the family donated $20 million to the football and baseball program at Oklahoma. That now becomes part of the revenue sharing, right? That $20 million counts towards those two sports for sure. That $20 million counts as revenue. So even though they have 20%, they're gonna pay out 22% of the total of everything, but then they also have that money too. So this is how the world is gonna change, and you need to know so that you're getting yours. Look, I want you to go out there and get paid, and I want it to be about the money. Like it should absolutely. I would love to say just love your sport. I did. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I loved it through surgeries. I loved it through pain. I love it on days when I wake up and I don't know if the pain is going to be unbearable today or not. I love it, right? I love it enough I love it, even though I know that, one day CTE might be an issue, right? I don't care. It's worth it, right? I want you to love what you do, but I want you to get paid. Like, I want you to get paid. I want you to go out and I want you to get your money. You deserve your money. Best example I could give you, right? Most people that you know have not worked at the same job for 10 years. If you think I'm lying, go, like, you're going to find a couple, but this isn't the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, where people stay with a business, then retire. Most of us don't know a lot of people that have been at the same business for 10 years, 15 years. You guys have been doing you've been doing your job since you were 4, 5, 6 years old, and now you're on your way to college. That means you've been doing your job for 10, 12, 13 years. You deserve to get your money. You deserve every bit of it, because you were doing it when it was free. You were taking the broken bones and the headaches or the broken hands or the pain from training or not being able to be a kid and have fun, and your parents putting out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. And we aren't even going to calculate the amount of time, because when you're a real athlete trying to get to a real place, you're a business owner, so you ain't never off the clock. You training when you're at your team training, you training when you're not. You out here playing sports all year round. You deserve to get your money. Absolutely, hands down. And anybody that tells you don't or is jealous of it, they weren't athletes. That's what that was, right? And so they don't deserve to tell you anything. They don't deserve to tell you that you don't deserve something, because they will want to get paid when they went to work too. There's people that have kids and expect their kids to pay them when they make it to the pros or become a specialist in whatever they do and start getting paid big money. Then they expect something back from their kids, because they're like, hey, I dedicated my life to you. We had you, we supported you, we helped get you where you wouldn't be there without us. So if even your parents can have their hand out because they think they deserve something just for giving you life, which was their choice, right? Don't you deserve something for all your hard work and dedication to a thing, for going to school, getting good grades, for staying out of trouble, for not getting pregnant or getting someone pregnant, for making the right choices and being the right kind of athlete? You deserve everything that you're going to get. And there's going to be athletes that have come before you. Some of them, like me, are going to feel how I feel, and it's fine. There's always supposed to be somebody that has to lay down so that the next people can stand on their shoulders and get more. And then you guys will be the same. And one day the athletes will get even more. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I want you to know what you're getting into so you could get your money without getting screwed over. Because the truth of the matter is this: when it was just scholarships, there were still kids getting screwed over, right? Now there's an enormous amount of money involved. And anytime money's involved, somebody's getting screwed over. It's facts. It's facts. Look, when your parents give you allowance, your parents might think they're paying you because you did a job. But think about it. You're thinking, why did I have to do this to get money? I'm your kid, right? So you're feeling like you're the one that got screwed over. It doesn't matter how minor the situation. When money is involved, somebody's going to get screwed. Somebody's going to get screwed over, right? So please, just understand what's going on, what you're doing, what you're looking forward to, and what you have going on. For you 2025 athletes, look, I already know that most of you think you understand NIL. None of you actually understand what's about to happen when it comes to getting paid, because how could you? The schools don't even know what their final numbers are going to be in order to tell you what you're going to get paid. So a lot of kids just committed without actually knowing the dollar amount or knowing that it exists at all. Let's be honest. Like, we're not going to act like everybody is rocket scientists, to play sports. Athletes are smart. We're not dumb jocks, but there are some, So the truth of the matter is, that's what it is. So here at the Who's Up Next show, it's all about giving you the truth and making sure that you get the information that you need. So again, 2025 athletes on, right? Building out your image is going to be important. Staying out of trouble is going to be important, more important than you can know. Watching the way that you post, watching everything that you do, you're going to have to pay people, right? Like, I get it. Everybody wants to say they could do it on their own and whatever. That's not true. It's nonsense. It is, right? I already said it, whether it's the basketball team, football, we just saw it in golf. We've seen it in racing and other sports, right? So that's where it is. Take care of what you got to take care of and do what you got to do. Hey, let's get into this next athlete. We're going to go to Sophia Barresi. Again, I'm terrible with names. Barresi. She's a soccer player. Her parents actually had really good film for soccer. I was pretty amazed by it. So let's lock it in.
Cheated and I've lied, I've broke down and I've cried. I've got nothing to hide no more. I've loved and I've hurt, I've broken people down with words. More grace than I deserve for sure. Known to be crazy, known to be wild. Mama had herself a little devilish child. Ain't no stranger to the troubles at my door. I've been at the wrong place at the wrong time, chasing all the wrong things most of my life. Been every kind of loss that you can't find, but I got one thing right. Been the kind of guy girls mamas don't like, running with the wrong crowd on the wrong nights. Cause I've been wrong about 1,000,000 times, but I got one thing right. You, I got one thing right. I got you. Saw through my pain, kept us patient while I changed. Never even crossed your mind to walk away. When I was getting crazy, reckless and wild, acting like my mama's little devilish child. It took a heart like yours.
Hey, again, she's a center back. Like I said, she's not the striker, so she's not scoring. But if you looked, you know what I'm saying, you watch the show later, go back through it, you'll see that her ball placement to put her teammates, her strikers in position to score is amazing, right? The video, I did get a chance to see that. I see the system that they have. I think more people should do that, even in baseball. It's the little system that scans the entire field with motion. The film is great. I love it. And it's good for you instead of your parents trying to go through the little holes or other weird angles to try to get the film out there. I really like it. But yeah, no, this young lady was amazing. Like I said, her ball placement was fantastic. Her physicality was fantastic. And I really like what she does out there on the field. Let's see. All right, man. So we're going to finish up with this kid, Damien. Let me make sure I get y'all his full name. He goes to Arborview High School. His name is Damien Dixon. He's a safety out here in Nevada. The kid's a dog, man. The kid is just a really, really good athlete. The film will tell you everything you need to see. I know for a fact this young man is on his way to school. Yeah, she's very accurate. Very, very accurate. This young man's on his way to school. I'm excited to see what he does his senior year of high school. But his film is just fantastic. He's a lockdown safety. Like, if you put the ball in the air anywhere near this young man, he's either taking it from you and taking it to the house, he's knocking it down. You know, I always tell receivers, if you can't catch it, knock it down, right? Don't let it pop up. Don't let it pop up. That's your worst nightmare. That's definitely going to be a pick, and it's probably going to be a pick six. But they don't quite comprehend it. But and DBs, defensive backs tend to not do it as well because they're trying to pick it. So sometimes they pop it up. But as a safety, this young man his vision is impeccable. Getting, in open field, he gets where he needs to be. He's always in great pursuit. He's willing to bang it out if he has to, but he is definitely going to go take that ball from you one way or another. His name is Damian Dixon. Here you go.
Yeah. And baby, it's amazing I'm in this maze with you. I just can't crack your code. One day you're screaming you love me loud, the next day you're so cold. One day you're here, one day you're there, one day you care. You're so unfair. Sipping from your cup till it runneth over. Holy grail.
Blue told me remind you niggas. That's what y'all talking about. I'm the caught up in all these lights and cameras. But look what that shit did to Hammer. God damn it, I like it. Bright lights is enticing. But look what it did to Tyson. All that money in one night, 30 mil for one fight. As soon as all that money blows, all opinions take flight. Fuck the fame, keep cheating on me. What I do, I took her back. Fool me twice, that's my bad. I can even blame her for that. Enough to make me want to murder. Mama, please just get my bail. I know nobody to blame. Kurt Cobain did it to myself.
And we all just entertainers. And we're stupid and contagious. No, we all just entertainers. And baby, it's amazing I'm in this maze.
Yo, I told y'all, man. The kid's amazing, right? You know what I'm saying? But what I love is he never lets his eyes stop his feet from moving. What I mean by that is he doesn't get caught looking at what's happening without moving his feet to get to where that thing is happening. At the same time that he is seeing how the play is developing, he is in the process of calculating where he needs to be to stop that from being a touchdown, to stop the receiver from catching a ball, to intercept the ball, whatever it is he has to do at the exact same moment that his brain sees the quarterback moving into a position, he is already reacting to it. And I think that's kind of what you see with every athlete that you've seen on this show. That's the special thing that I think they all tend to have, whether it is baseball, soccer, basketball, swimming, football. These young men and women are exceptional, and their film shows it because they're complete. They're not one-dimensional athletes. You can tell they understand their job. They put in the work, right? They watch the film. They go out and they figure out the angles and calculate, how would I do this if this happens? And I love that because it shows up on film, and that's what coaches love. That's the thing that every recruiter is looking for, right? Is that person that when you're getting ready to go to college, you're not complete. It's a no-brainer, right? You're not complete. You're not even close to complete. There's still some growth that needs to happen. That's why I don't want to say I hate anybody. It pisses me off, right? When I see high school coaches that want to be like, oh, they want to make you perfect, or youth coaches that are like, they want to make you perfect. They want to make you perfect at what you do, perfect at the way you train, perfect. That's not how that works, right? Youth, you're going to be perfect all the way up till you're on your way to college. And then at college, your college coach is going to see you and say, hey, it's a little rough or it's a little shiny and I can make that better. And then I can take that, make it good for us and make it good for the next level. That's what coaches are looking for. They're not looking for a finished product. They're looking for a product that they could put their stamp on too. It's like having a passport. They want to put when you're done, you want to have 5 or 6 coaches that have stamped that thing to say you are certified to keep moving on, right? because they've all put their little stamp on you to help you get where you're going. That's what it means to be a really good athlete. So you guys got to stop being perfect. And I said it before, I'll say it again. If you are training with someone that is telling you that you need a cookie cutter system, right? They watch a little YouTube where they used to play a little something. They weren't great, but they played a little something. Then they want to tell you that, let's say you are a 6 foot running back or a 5'6" running back, and they're telling y'all should do the job the exact same. That's a terrible coach. That's a terrible trainer. There are some fundamentals. Keep your legs moving. Put your hands together. Let's, catch with your hands, not with your body. When you're swinging the bat, follow through. Keep your eyes on the ball as you follow through on your swing. Different things, right? There are different things that are absolutely fundamental to the job, but there are a lot of things that change based on the body type or the height or the shortness of someone, the weight of someone, whatever it is. Great coaches take the fundamentals and address them to the way that you do the job. And then that's what makes a great athlete. I was showing an athlete yesterday that when Patrick Mahomes came into the NFL, everybody was upset. They said he had no footwork, not bad footwork. He had no footwork. They were talking about all these bad things, and yet he's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. He's young, so he might beat out Tom Brady and be the greatest of all time. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But all those people had to shut up. There was a time in basketball when everybody at the free throw line shot granny shots for free throws. When the first guy turned his hand over to shoot a regular shot, I guarantee you they were all saying that's not the way you do it. When people started dunking in the NBA, they actually banned it because they said that's not basketball. Now we can't live without it, right? When Serena and Venus first came into tennis, they said they were too big and too powerful. They made too much noise. They did this like this and that like that. Now they're the standard for men and women. They are the standard. This is what I'm trying to tell you. There's no cookie cutter system for every athlete, right? Yet the way that this thing works is I see your talent. I get you the fundamentals, and then I tweak the fundamentals to make you exceptional in your style. Remember that for boxing, everybody said that Ali and Floyd Mayweather with their hands down were going to get knocked out and they could never win. And now they are two of the greatest to ever do it. But if you go to a lot of gyms, you're going to see a lot of coaches that say, man, keep your hands up. Keep your hands up or you're going to get knocked out. Keep your hands up, but it's a proven fact that doesn't work for everybody. There's a young man out of England right now that does the drunken master style of boxing, and he is murdering everybody in the game. His hands ain't never up. He both hands down, and he is putting hands on people. He's the one that they're doing all the film about. Nobody's talking about some of these other people. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So athletes, don't get caught up on these coaches, right? A lot of these coaches are YouTube coaches. Let's keep it a buck. Coaches, if you mad at me, you know where I'm at. We could do this thing, right? We could debate this, right? I have no problem talking with you. But and let me say this, there's nothing wrong with a YouTube coach. As long as you understand that you're a YouTube coach, and so you got to keep studying and perfecting what you do. Some of the best coaches in every sport never played the sport. So for you athletes that are out there trying to kiss the butt of your coach, you think this coach is better because he played for a little bit than this coach over here that didn't play at all? You're wrong. Because some of those coaches are the best coaches because they study and study and study. Eric Spoelstra over with the Miami Heat. I give you receipts. Told you the truth is what's going to be had here. So that's where it is, right? Find a coach that fits your style. I had my son's coach, not his coach, his head coach is Love, right? I had his quarterback coach, right, tell me that he wanted to work on something with him, and I told him no. He told me with his son standing there, I would never tell my son's coach no. And I told him That's you. That's not me. I know what I'm doing. I do this at a higher level than you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking you, and I'm not trying to step on your toes because I didn't ask to talk to him. He asked to talk to me, right? But what you're asking him to do was ridiculous. And you said, well, everybody does it. That was immediately the wrong word. That was the wrong sentence for me, right? When a coach tells me, well, everybody does it, you're not the right coach. Doesn't mean you're not a good coach. You just might not be coaching at the level you should coach at, or you evolve and you learn and you change and you understand. And what I will give this coach credit, right? I explained to him that he was missing. He's very technical. And I explained to him, you're missing the human being that is the athlete. So yes, I can coach you like this, and I could coach you like this. And some things I could do that are similar, but then there's some things that I have to address over here, right? And as most coaches at the high school level, he's a teacher. So the example that I gave him is if I'm in a class and I'm teaching 20 kids and one kid is just not getting it, do I just say, hey, that kid doesn't get it? Or do I walk over and ask this kid, what's going on? You know, what is it that's going on with you that's not getting it? It might be that the kid is sitting in the back of the classroom, can't see, and needs to move to the front. Might be the kid can't read. Might be the kid has problems at home. Look, for you coaches out there, a great coach is a coach, a father, an uncle, a friend, a confidant, and a counselor, and everything else. And I'm sorry if you don't understand that. That's what great coaches do. If you want to be the guy or woman that one day these kids come back and say, hey, if it wasn't for you, I couldn't have done what I did. That's the kind of coach that gets that kind of result. That the coach that understands that your job is bigger than just the plays, bigger than just the training. Your job is all encompassing. And if you don't have time for that, that's okay. But don't take a head coaching position, because that's what head coaches do. Head coaches put everything else to the side. I'll tell you right now, my kid's coach right now has a family member that's in the process of passing on. And he doesn't even get to see his wife and daughter every day because they have to stay in a whole nother state because they're with that family member. And yet that guy is out here grinding alone and still focused on these kids. And for that, I will forever be grateful, because he has shown my son what a real coach is supposed to be like, the kind of mentality, you know what I'm saying? Because I've met the coaches and I've been coached by the coaches that say, well, my family needs this, so I got to go. I get it, but then don't be a coach. I get it. But there's some other stuff you got to do, you know what I'm saying? And so just make sure you're paying attention, man. But back to y'all's money. Next week, I'm going to make sure I put on some stuff that really solidifies where this thing is going. I'm telling you right now, as being with the NCAA and all this information that's coming through with the NILs and the changes to the rules, I get them right away. Like when they hit the press, I get them. They're immediately sent to me. So I'm going to make sure that I keep putting that information out here every Sunday, right? I want you to be aware. Please get someone to help you manage your money. Please don't sign contracts. If you're going to sign for your scholarship and you're going to sign for the money, because they're now saying that you guys are going to be employees of the NCAA of your school, right? So make sure that those are two different pieces of paper. If they want you, they'll do it, because you don't want your scholarship and your money to be attached to the same thing, right? So you want to be on scholarship and you want your employee contract to be separate from that, because your scholarship guarantees you a lot. As long as you're doing your job, it guarantees you a lot. And there's rules built into it to keep them from being able to just take it from you. Like there's still steps. They can't just take it. But if you're an employee, remember that most states in the United States are at-will states. At-will means that you can come and work or quit whenever you want, and I can employ you or get rid of you whenever I want. So make sure you got somebody to help you work that out. That can walk you through those things. You already know I'm going to pump it every time. Complete college prospect, complete college prospects, complete college prospects. It's just that simple, right? For me, that it's a no-brainer. Even if we weren't, if it wasn't the parent company of the show, I would still be pumping them because everything that's being offered over there is fantastic, right? But there are some other companies that are trying to work on some things and put some stuff in place to help with that kind of stuff too. But please don't sign anything without your parents. Don't sign anything without someone to sit there that's on your side and make sure everything is in line. If you've already committed to a school, start talking to that school about the 22% profit sharing. That way you can understand how is that going to affect everything else for you. What are the new rules or regulations if you sign for your 22% profit sharing? How do your taxes work out? Look, I don't want to let the show go on for too long. Next week, I will make sure to discuss if you're getting the 22%. Well, if you're at any of the big schools, you're getting the profit sharing. I'm going to give you some information on things you should do in order to keep that tax from being outrageous, so that you could keep a lot more of your money than you lose. I appreciate you guys being here with me. Again, I love the kids we had. Tyler Harrison, hey, boy, good luck. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep watching. I love that you finished up that first round of chemo. I know you're going to beat this thing, man. Just know that the Who's Up Next show is here. Can't wait to see you in high school doing what you do. Definitely going to have to get you on the show. I know you and your family are just making that grind to do exactly what you need to do. Cancer is beatable. I'm happy that y'all caught it early, and I just know you got this, man, and I'm definitely here for you. JC, keep doing. Jocelyn, you're murderous at the bat. Keep that up. Ty, man, I don't even know what to say to you, bro. I know I'm going to see you on Saturdays kicking somewhere. Sophia, again, great job out there. Damien, my guy. I'm going to make sure that I'm at one of your games this year. I don't know which one, but I'm going to make that happen. I know your coaches. Complete College Prospect gave some equipment to you guys. So I definitely going to make sure that I get over there to see you, brother. I love everything that I'm seeing over there with you, my guy. And again, man, thanks for being with me on a Sunday. Every Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's the Who's Up Next show. It's your boy, the big fella. I love y'all.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods. Top-notch hoes, get the most, not the lizard. Straight terror, product of your errors. Pushing culture, baby, got the